What's up, everybody? My name is Tom Fitzsimmons, and I'm back. Mon Life, episode 2. Definitely sticking with the regular upload schedule. Let's see what happens. So I wanted to talk about podcasts. Podcasts have been a thing that I'm really interested in because it's something that I have failed at miserably. Any of my close friends know me as the podcast guy, because if I love you and I like you and I want to spend time with you or just be in contact with you, I'm like, hey, let's start a podcast. And I've miserably failed at a couple different kinds of podcasts over the last probably year. But I haven't given up yet because I really enjoy the idea of, creating something where a listener can, tune in while they're like, maybe want to run, or they're on their commute for work, or they just want to hear about, what's going on or some kind of interesting content. So that's what I want to talk about today. I have started a podcast. And the name, I'm still coming up with the name. I will link the podcast in the bio down here above, wherever it's going to be somewhere. And this podcast is going to be kind of like the new thing I'm doing here at Sant'Anselmo as I continue being the multimedia content dude, guy, intern person. I've had several failed attempts, or let's just say kind of struggling podcasts that are out there. They're on SoundCloud. I'm going to link them below. I'm doing a podcast with my beautiful girlfriend, Catherine. It's a micro podcast, so they're short and interesting. I started a podcast with my guy, brother Cashin, back in the States. That's going to be linked below too. We named it the Run with a Monk podcast, so you never know, it might make a rebirth. And then my most recent attempt was with my buddy Dan. We called it the DTF podcast, the Dan Tom Fitz podcast, and we were just kind of goofing off with the play on words. But all those podcasts have been kind of struggling. We weren't able to keep the regular upload schedule, and I really want to walk through how I've started this new one from the goofy way my buddy David and I, who's one of the volunteers here, I'll introduce him in one of these later episodes. We rough and tumble took these janky, cranky, they were like lamp desk things that were unloved, and we just cut off the cords and bought cheap iPhone stands or cheap iPhone holders, and we stuck them on it. Now we have these two microphone stands. They're DIY microphone stands. So we started the podcast setup with a little bit more of a professional flow, and so we could kind of be mobile. We could set them up anywhere on any desk. And we started that, and that was kind of cool. And then the second thing was I want to record the podcast on video just for kicks. I want to keep it really short so I can also, not be forever editing, but making something cool and interesting to promote. One of the cool things was that my buddy Noah, he's one of the volunteers here too. Both my guys, David and Noah, are both from St. John's College out in, I'm blanking on the state. They are from a state in the West. I feel like an idiot. They're gonna slap the mess out of me right now. I'm blanking out. I'm gonna remember it in 5 seconds. Blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I am really excited because my guys Noah and David, they were able to kind of help me out. And Noah was the first he was the first guest on this new monastery monk podcast thing that I'm working on. So far, what we've done is we've made it completely mobile, where we can set it up in any room. We can use other people's own iPhones, use the voice recorder app, because honestly, look at this. iPhones are absolutely phenomenal because you have the receiver here. If you can place it right here and still have your hands free to talk, it's ideal. And then my buddy Ross Labuscus, he's another guy that I started a podcast with, and we're trying to start it back up again. So shout out to Ross Labuscus. You have this distance right here. This is how far you want to be before you start getting you can kind of hear it, It's just the bad sound. So this kind of distance is what Ross told me. So this is what we've been doing so far. So basically, like, I want to talk about the three things that I hope to do in this podcast, and because I've been failing miserably in the past, but I hope to continue moving forward. Fail forward. I want to be able to talk about the present state of life that I'm in with some of my buddies here, because it's pretty crazy. We do live in a monastery in Rome, and it's absolutely awesome, but definitely like unique and something I want to share with you guys. Also, we want to be able to inspire and educate. So inspire is just like obviously talking about whatever, but hopefully making an impact to the people that listen. Also, uncover cool new topics. To educate would just be talking about, the faith, living in a Catholic Benedictine monastery. I'm not just chilling out in some ridge somewhere, isolated from the world. I can walk down the street and I'm in downtown Rome. So it's pretty awesome. A lot of cool stuff is coming up, but kind of the podcast, like how to approach a podcast is one of those fun things where you can just roll with it. And so other than that, I hope to catch you guys in the next one. And yeah, it's been real. Bye.